Hey, I'm just doing this video totally off the cuff. Have to say something. The Brazilian government just banned X, which means that the handle for the U.S. Embassy in Brazil at USAMBR is now banned in Brazil. Brazilians can't even see the X account of the embassy, and the embassy has not issued a statement condemning what's happened, has not threatened sanctions, has not threatened the retrenchment of U.S. business interests, has not threatened getting rid of the $200 million in foreign government assistance to Brazil. Nothing. Just today, earlier, the U.S. Embassy finally, after, I don't know, almost a year of total silence, on just hours before the Brazil banned it, finally made a public statement about everything that's happened and said, we are monitoring the situation. They are monitoring it. They've been monitoring it. They have been behind it. They have been funding it. They have been coordinating it. Earlier today, I saw a picture of a Brazilian member of Congress in the United States saying he was a censored man in Congress. Well, do you know that the U.S. government actually funded the Brazilian NGOs, the Brazilian think tanks, who are part of the legislative development of these censorship edicts, and who pressured Brazil's government not to create a carve-out for congressional parliamentarians because it would give a free pass for Brazilian members of Congress to spread misinformation online? So the U.S. government funded the pressure for the ability to arrest that politician. This is not a case of Brazilian government gone rogue. The U.S. government sponsored it through the State Department, through USAID, through the National Endowment for Democracy, and about 100 different NGOs, university centers, legal scholars, and activists within Brazil, starting in 2018, starting in about October 2018. And first they came for the social media companies, then they came for WhatsApp and Telegram, and now finally they're coming for X. Now, they are between a rock and a hard place, which is why I believe the U.S. Embassy finally issued this pittance of a public statement hours ago before the ban that they're monitoring the situation. And this is because now there's a fire lit under their ass. And I'm sorry, but part of that may have been because I generated over 100 million impressions in the past 48 hours, specifically naming the U.S. Embassy. And I just went on Tucker Carlson specifically naming the U.S. Embassy. Now, to be clear, I'm not sure if it's the U.S. Embassy or it's the Western Hemisphere. What I know is it's the State Department and State Department dollars. And I have 1,000 of these people in Brazil with confessions that they were coordinating with the State Department while receiving State Department money to do it. OK, so I don't know the specific wing of the U.S. Embassy because I don't have a security clearance. I'm not a member of Congress who can go in and get it. So I don't know if it's the Western Hemisphere aspect of the State Department or if it's directly at the embassy level. But the embassy is between a rock and a hard place right now because they want X to censor all Bolsonaro supporters, all pro-Bolsonaro sentiment. But they don't want to look like they're behind it. They are. And again, bring me in. I will show you the whole roadmap. And they don't want it to be, and they don't want themselves to have to be in the diplomatic crosshairs of it, of blessing the banning of an entire platform in a huge country on censorship grounds, because the other half of what the State Department does is pressure foreign governments for free speech. Because when there's a party they don't like in power, they promote free speech and sanctions countries for not having free speech because it doesn't allow the U.S. State Department network there to win an election or rise to power or galvanize political support. So pressure cannot let up. At this point, this late in the game, it is far too late for a semi-sympathetic, we're monitoring the situation from the U.S. Embassy. We need a full-throated disavowal, a full-throated condemnation. We need all of the U.S. State Department funded NGOs to sign solidarity letters that they oppose the Brazil's action. We need affirmative economic consequences. We need affirmative pullback we need sanctions. We need the total dismantlement of all foreign assistance to the Brazil economy. It is not enough to simply orchestrate this whole thing, fund this whole thing, and then at the very last minute try to wash your hands clean. Oh, we don't like what they did. You loved every single moment of it until about 48 hours ago when the fire started getting too hot with the PR blowback. Well, guess what? That's not going away.